Morning, everybody. Welcome to the lending report for February 7th, 2025. Thanks for joining me. Hope your year is off to a great start. Let's get into it right away, starting with mortgage applications showing that purchases in terms of activity were down 4%, refinances up 12%. So still a lot of activity and interest with refinances despite the higher interest rates, which makes sense because they're, as we've covered for months now, lots of debt being carried out there, and a lot of homeowners have a lot of equity in their home. So this is their opportunity to consolidate debt through that refinance, cash out, paying off those debts, and putting their debts into it's a longer repayment, yes, but the overall net impact in their monthly obligations much lower. So people utilizing that equity they built in their homes from purchasing to help them financially. Initial jobless claims, those filing for the first time, showed up 11,000, and continuing claims up 36,000. So always what we see week after week, just a seesaw back and forth between activity with jobless claims and people speculating what's going on with the jobs market. Now, CoreLogic did come out with their appreciation for December, showing up 0.03%, so a very modest gain. But we do now know that the annual appreciation for 2024 was actually 3.4%. So that's actually a really good number, all things considered. There was appreciation in home values last year, despite all of the naysayers out there saying that there would be a market crash, home values were going to go down. Just nothing that's going to substantiate that. And what I've repeated time and time again, which hopefully will stick with people, is that the demand outpaces the inventory. And as long as that continues, which is indefinite, what we're going to see for quite some time, what it looks like based on these numbers, that will always support home values. So we will continue to see appreciation. And the interest rates and how that plays into it is, as the interest rates do eventually, when they will come down, that will increase that demand. It doesn't necessarily give us the supply that we need. So that will further excel that appreciation that home values will see. Now, this week was big. It was our jobs week. Start of the month always is. JOLTS report came out. Let's get a few slides for you right here. JOLTS report, started in the unemployment. It was a big miss on this report. I'm not going to show you the numbers. What I want to show you here is the fact that what we're seeing is that over the past several years, you can see the clear decline in the job openings based on this report. Upwards of 12 million back in August of 2022, and now we're down to just under 7.6 million. So there is an obvious trend in declining job opportunities. Also, we got ADP this week. This one came in at 183 versus 183 job creations versus 150 estimates. So a little bit over the expectations, not a blowout. And that it was revised. Previous was revised from 176 to 122. So that was revised down. We had a kind of tempered response to this particular report. But you can see that by sector, kind of what made up the job creations, mostly trade, transportation, utilities, leisure, and hospitality, always seeming to lead the way, education just behind that. And also within this report, you can see that people are tending to stay at their jobs versus leaving. Stayers did tick up, while switchers, those looking for new jobs, went down just a little bit. We also got the BLS report today, and this one has had quite an impact on us today, showing that it was at 143 versus 170,000 in estimates. And that is the seasonally adjusted number. So they're speculating based on here, seasonal employment, January employees are going to be laid off because we're no longer in the holidays. So if you look at the non-seasonally adjusted number, showing a loss of 2.8 million jobs, just the difference is just crazy. And then there was a revision over the past 2 months, up 100,000. Now, here's some important information that was in the report. We talk about average hourly earnings a lot as these reports come out. And it's important because this is not often looked at, but it is showing that month over month, average hourly earnings went up by basically 0.5%. So a lot of excitement over that. However, what gets overlooked is the average hours worked ticked down a little bit. So, and I know that 0.1% doesn't seem like that much, but when you multiply that out over the number of people that are actually in the workforce, it is actually quite substantial. So great that people look to be making more money, not great that they seem to be working less. So I think the theory is that they're making more money, they'll go spend more money, but you're not necessarily going to bring home more money if you're working less hours. Also, within the BLS report, we do get the unemployment rate, and you can see that the unemployment rate ticked down from 4.1% to 4%. If you look at the all-in number, the U6 number, unemployment at 7.5%, but nobody pays attention to that number. We seem to always look at the U3 number, but that's fine. That's what we're looking at. It shows that it went down, so everything looks great in the looks great according to the status quo and what everybody's putting out there in the media. So this is where, let's take a look at the markets right now. Today, not very good. Continues to get worse in response to the numbers this week. So you can see when the ADP report came out, we had some good numbers because it was a miss, but now that we have the BLS number today, definitely taking a toll on us right now. So all that, made up some ground, now we're losing it. So you can expect interest rates right now to be around 7%, somewhere a little bit below or above, depending upon your situation. But again, today should have an adverse impact on the market. So if you are thinking about buying or refinancing, I think you can expect at this point, the rates are going to hover around 7%, somewhere in there. So if you need to do something, if you need to refinance or if you need to purchase, don't hesitate, because the home values are still good. This is optimal time to do it. Take advantage of the market before interest rates do come down. And I know I've been saying that for a while, but it's inevitable. They do have to come down at some point. But there'll be a lot of uncertainty with what's going on right now with this new administration, what's going to happen in the markets. So if you have any questions, please do reach out to me. I do appreciate when you like my videos. Get some responses there. Let me know your input, your thoughts and input on what's going on today and what your thoughts on these job reports are. Always very interesting because they are definitely market movers. Now, next week we'll have CPI. We do think this might be favorable for us. We'll keep our fingers crossed with that. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. And whoever you're rooting for the Super Bowl, go your team. Have a good day.